Yeah.
He's coaching teams all over the phone. He knows everything about the league, all the guys from the league. I mean, how do you bring in new assistant coaches when they don't know how to coach?
It's a great question, Bo.
You got to. Oh, don't give me don't give me that smarmy shit.
How you doing, Elroy?
Elroy? Gertie. We ain't rolling, are we? Holy smokes.
I think we're on.
He just turned us off without us what we was knowing about it. You don't want to be doing that, I'm telling you.
Oh, man.
That's what gets boys in trouble in this town. How you fellas doing?
We're doing good.
How are you?
Yeah, good.
Cold as hell.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Hey, you were driving that Jeep, too. I mean, that's got to be freezing.
Yeah, because I ain't got no top for it. I can't afford it right now.
That's all right. That's all right.
Good,
Toughen
yeah.
you
This
up.
guy over
Toughen
here, he'll
you
make
up.
one for you.
Yeah.
Got a couple guys over there who put something there real crafty.
Well, good. As long as they let me make installments on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, dollar here, dollar there. Did you know Wilford Brimley was going to be on the program
I
today?
did not know Wilford Brimley.
Diabetes.
What is
How's
this?
that working out?
Is this what you call swaddling clothes?
See, it's a very important job in society. See, they bring the fish out of the ocean.
Uh-huh.
I take the fish
And you throw them.
and I throw them or I box them. Somebody's got to do it.
You know what, that movie 50 First Dates was right. If you ever fish slap somebody, it'll bring them down off of anything.
Really?
You just slap them with a damn fish.
Really?
Yes, sir.
You ever do that thing, buddy?
I have.
Yeah.
Every family reunion or family event I go to, I carry a big ass shiny fish.
Really?
Yes, I do. I slap.
Like Uncle Tanook needs maybe a swat.
I've hit Uncle Teeny Boy in the fish so many times, and he thinks he is a damn fish.
That's how many times he's been hit with a fish,
That's how many times he's been hit with a dang fish.
Does he just, when you come up for like Thanksgiving, does he just stand by the door and say, let's get it out of the way?
He said, come on, hit me with the trout. Smack.
What's it going to be this year, girlie?
You know what's good with a trout? Slap somebody with a trout?
What's that?
Because they're real flat on one side. And when you hit them with that trout and it's flat on the side, it makes a loud noise.
Scares them.
Mentally, it gets in their head and it what stays there.
Well, you know what we've done for you today?
What
Since
y'all
we knew
done?
you were going to be here, we couldn't have the Intimidator on the program because he's dead. Don't break down right now.
Oh,
he's dead.
what?
He's dead.
You had to bring up that again.
I'm sorry. But
He's wearing a number 3 toe tag. God bless you.
So instead of that, we're going to have your next favorite hero from the Double Dime Ranch in Texas, future Hall of Famer.
Which ranch,
Braves,
where?
Double Dime Ranch. Chipper Jones is going to join us later in the program.
I thought you was talking about the Bunny Ranch out in Nevada.
No.
Because I got some people out there I keep close following on Twitter, too.
Yeah.
I bet you do.
You don't hit them with fish.
No, they hit you with that, too. That's what you're paying extra for. Get it?
Oh, man.
It's one of them double entendres.
We're going to have to get you You got to be cold as hell, man.
I'm cold as a well digger's ass. I'm going to tell you something, boys. I enjoyed that football last night. And I'm going to tell y'all, for those of y'all, I'm going to do a little pop psychology here if y'all don't mind.
Coming up right now?
Yeah. Because there's all kinds of people out there, year in and year out, they want to talk about how the SEC is down. Mm-hmm. And this year they might have an argument. But I'm going to tell you something. There ain't nothing you can do to assuage your self-esteem problem. Even in a year like this, when arguably speaking the league is down, we'll still whoop your ass. There you go. That's my pop psychology
There
segment.
it is, right there.
It's pretty
Let
convincing.
that be a warning to you.
Well, Bo will tell you, the Florida State Seminoles, they're SEC. They're SEC.
Well, you know what? I wrote about it today. I was kind of disappointed.
That was good today, by the way.
Thank you. I was kind of disappointed that Auburn didn't win, only because it would have. I just, to kind of bring everything home, like what, how it relates to us around here. And just, the fact that you had a superior team in Florida State that could have been beaten by a well-coached team, by coaching. And I thought
he's unbelievable, isn't he?
Oh.
I mean.
Hold on. Where were you going? Where are you going?
You said y'all was going to buy me some soup.
Well, we'll have the soup. Cassie, can we have some soup and a straw?
soup I want it the way you said you was going to give it to. I want that soup and a.
Can you sign that for me?
I want a soup and a crazy straw like you said you was going to do.
All right, we'll
I'm
do
gonna-
it. Sit down.
I'm going to hold it to it.
Sit down.
Oh, dang it.
Now, if they found a way to win that game last night, that would have been the singularly
Oh.
best coaching job.
Right.
Name your sport. And
Right.
it's, it's
Right.
you basically you couldn't have done a better job than what he did
Right.
coming from where they were. And I'm not talking about wins and losses.
Right.
You had guys getting arrested.
Right.
Everybody on the team getting high, smoking dope, nobody respecting authority. I mean, he
Right.
was a freaking train wreck
Right.
at Auburn last
Right,
year. And he
yeah.
came in and immediately demanded respect.
Yeah.
Now, Ellis Johnson had a lot to do with that, too.
Right. Well, there was a team that in Florida State, they just had all the speed dimension. They had the athletic ability dimension. They had everything going from the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. Yet, to me, Auburn was the better team. Granted, FSU had all the superlatives, but I just thought Auburn was the better team because of Gus Malzahn. Sit there, come on. You're ruining the show.
I ain't trying. I can ruin this show. we had people making complaints last week about the audio. Did you hear about that?
Well, Edward had fixed it.
Yeah,
Edward fixed it.
They were sending us text messages.
Had numerous complaints.
Yeah, saying you know what the problem is? What we could hear every dang word you said.
And that hurts.
Yeah,
That hurts, though, doesn't it?
hurts me in my heart. It's almost as bad as when they did that thing to Johnny Zoom in NASCAR, where they painted the logo on the bottom of the car because they figured they'd get more TV time that way. I'm gonna let AJ come in because he's over there.
Yeah, get
Where
AJ.
is AJ? Is he still in the Jeep?
He's just knocking off. He's just trying to get his doodads warm.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay.
Speaking of that, God dang!
What?
You ever see that movie Joe Dirt?
Joe Dirt?
Yeah.
No.
Well, you've seen it, ain't you? You've never seen Joe Dirt? You seen Joe? You seen Joe Dirt? You seen where the dog gets his doodads froze to the porch,
No.
and they have to get the spatula and the warm water to
Yeah.
get them. That happened to me last night.
Really?
I was out in my pajama pants going out to walk the dogs.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm out there, and I slipped on some ice in the driveway.
Yeah.
Dang old dog got tangled up with the cord and stuff, pulled my damn pants right down as I slid.
Yeah.
Doodads hit the ice, froze right through the ice.
Are you kidding
So
me?
what, did you have a spatula in your pocket, or
No,
did
I had
some
to-
poor sap have to
No,
come do this
I
for
had
you?
to holler for Aunt Nina.
Aunt Nina?
Aunt Nina had to come out.
And Aunt Nina afraid you do that?
She came out, and I tried to get them. Oh no! And they got about a 4 to 6 inch stretch on them things. She came out.
Bo's got that every morning.
She had to, well, God bless you, sir. She came out with a spatula and some warm water and had to disconnect me.
Oh,
The damnest thing I
wow.
ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good thing Aunt Nina knew how to do that.
Yeah.
It wasn't her first rodeo. I don't think.
No.
Her first idea.
She's freed up doodads in the past.
Her first idea, she thought it'd be quicker, is just, let the
Yank
dogs.
'em?
No,
Oh.
let the dogs come on in there. She brought out some peanut butter at first, and I went, we ain't doing that. No, that's just wrong.
Did you get the peanut butter from your bedside table?
Yes, she did. Because she knows I like it crunchy.
No, they bite then.
Yeah, but
That's no good.
Is that right?
That's I've heard.
I have learned
I've heard
something
that.
today.
Yeah.
Boy, we've gone completely off the rails.
I'm going to get this asshole.
If we go off the rails, it's typically pretty gone. So, so the game aside, I thought Trey Mason last night. I mean, is there a more underappreciated guy
Yeah, I
over
think
the
so.
last
Yeah.
5 years?
No, he's special. He really is special. Do you realize that game came down? We always talk about the kicking game. We give it lip service and everything. No one ever really pays attention. That game was all kicking game. It was the 100-yard kickoff return. It was a missed field goal. It was punch pinning Florida State back where they should have taken advantage of. And that whole game really revolved around the kicking game.
Well, hey, what's up, AJ?
Hey, man. How you
Hey,
guys
good
doing?
to see you.
man.
Good to see you. Good to see
Thank
you.
you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, I was just saying, I didn't even realize you got started. I'm sorry.
That's
No, that's
all
all
right.
right.
Okay. No,
We had to
he's-
fill in.
Oh, yeah, I thought Gertie was over here.
He's,
Yeah, sorry I put you through that.
he's over there trying to find himself.
What is he doing?
I don't know how you. What do you guys? Y'all have bunk beds?
Wait, it's kind of a dorm style.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a dorm style. No, not even more like a dorm style. Kind of a jail pod style.
Is it an open commode?
Yeah, of course. You have to. You can't be shy.
No.
My house, no.
That was the worst part about being in jail. It's just that open commode. You know,
know
you're
it.
sitting there and there's no privacy.
No, there's not. You kind of get used to it.
You know, I was
Yeah.
used to it because we had that at the Citadel. We also had it in the Marine Corps. So if you can't sit down next to a guy and do your business, you just have no right being in the Marine Corps.
Well, you're not a real man.
No.
Bo will show you after the show what a man he is.
You're not a real man until you can blow out an O-ring sitting next to your buddy.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That hurt right here.
Well, I'm sorry.
So you're talking about the kicking game. There were three huge penalties or non-penalties in that game. The excessive celebration penalty, which at the time seemed ridiculous.
See,
and nobody,
but that's what I was talking about. That's what I was getting at. Florida State had 6 of those false starts and conduct type of stuff.
well, this isn't where I'm going with that. What I'm saying is, it was at a point in the game, 15 yards, where it was just a huge penalty. Right?
yeah.
A huge penalty, and everybody was like, "Oh, it can't be a personal foul. That can't be." The only person that heard what he said was the official.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can't question. You don't know what he said.
Right.
He could have been like, "You, whatever."
And as far as him being demonstrative, I even thought he went a little too far with that. I think if he would have cut it off, another couple of
That's a
seconds
throat
earlier.
trash. You just did. That's 30
Well,
yards.
actually, first of all,
that's
right
30
there.
yards.
Oh,
yeah.
did he do that?
No, he didn't
oh.
do that. But I'm just saying, if he would have cut, if he would have cut it, kind of edited his act, they would have been fine.
Probably.
So that was the one. Then you had at the end of the game, and I thought this was the biggest one that was kind of worked against Auburn, was the horse collar that they didn't call.
Yeah,
right.
Because if they call that horse collar, it's half the distance to the goal, and there's still a minute left.
They score quicker.
They score quick. Auburn still has 2 timeouts. Your Malzahn, you let them score. You got the ball and 2 timeouts with a
Right.
minute left.
Right. Good point.
Yeah, I remember thinking at the time that could be just a thing to help them run the clock out.
They had to burn 2 timeouts, and it cost them a minute.
Yeah. But the problem is, I didn't know if they had what it took to get it done.
Yeah.
Having to cover the extra yardage. But yeah,
Yeah, that hell of a
see,
game, man.
see, the other thing is, the kickoff run back takes 7 seconds, and you're in the game.
He's
so,
pretty quick.
No, but I mean, that was only 7 seconds off the clock. You got 7 points on the board. Now all the time remaining, and you don't take anything off the clock in favor of Florida State.
Well, if you
Florida
notice-
State still had the lead.
That's why Auburn went right down the field and scored again, because
Right.
they were gassed. Did you
Right.
see that number 8?
Yeah.
That big
Yeah.
tackle?
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't know where the hell he was.
No, he didn't.
I mean, he
Yeah,
couldn't even get
Jernigan.
off the field. Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd look good in black, wouldn't he?
Well, when he was playing on the sideline, he wouldn't look that good.
Well, I mean,
He looked all right.
Hey guys, I was surprised, a little bit vindicated, and I felt kind of good. Of course, I'd never get credit for it. But then Arthur Blank came out at the end of your press conference yesterday and said we got to get more physical.
Yeah.
Did he actually say that?
Yeah, he actually.
He finally acknowledged that, did he?
We've got to get more
Yeah.
physical.
Well, this has been a long time coming, but at least he's finally with the program.
I tell you what, I drove by there yesterday. I had to go into the Blank House.
Yeah.
Not actually into the house, but
Right.
the foundation right
Yeah.
there off North Side. That's the most beautiful building in Atlanta.
Have you been inside?
Yeah.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
It's the most
inside.
beautiful building in Atlanta.
It has inlaid floors that look like old-time European
The
floors.
toilet brushes are made out of solid gold.
I know, and those bookcases, and in the study and the library he has in there,
It's unbelievable.
absolutely amazing. Oh, I wasn't supposed to be in there.
Dude, that was Gurley.
Yeah.
That was Gurley.
Yeah, that was his fault.
He'd get away with it.
Yeah.
A guy like that gets caught going through Arthur's stuff. Nobody calls the police. They say, this fucking goofball,
Yeah.
let's put it.
The guy has problems.
You, me, Bo?
Hey,
We're going to the slammer, man.
Arthur Blank also said that Smitty's recommitted to having a tough offensive and defensive front.
Recommitted?
You can't do that.
What do you mean
See,
recommitted?
it is what you are. You are either that or not. You can't manufacture that. You can't fabricate that. You're not that kind of coach. So, you fire your assistants, you get yourself another year. But the fact of the matter is, the cards are on the table. Smitty can't finish this deal. He just does not have the innate leadership ability to be able to do this.
I
They
think
say,
it's-
we're going to get more physical. Come on, Smitty. We're going to refocus and we're going to.
You're like a
correct
broken
our-
record.
Well, I mean,
It's
that's
not
but
him.
He's a broken
Name
record.
a player on that team that has been drafted or signed under this regime that's an hombre. It's a philosophical problem. They don't bring in these guys.
But Hans, don't you understand? That,
They want finesse. They want speed.
But these guys, offensive linemen, they're not finesse players. These guys are grunts. They give you what you demand. We don't demand that. We had, in Pat Hill, the softest offensive line coach in the National Football League. They would never raise their voice. He and Mike Dunn. It was ridiculous. And the only one who did was Ray Armstrong on the defensive front, and he's gone. So I just don't know what they're thinking. I think they're grasping at straws, but this is not going to solve the problem. You can't recommit to being more physical.
And you said he never raised his voice.
Never raised it.
Okay, let me ask you this. You played, right? Of course. You played at a high level.
Right.
Let me ask you this.
Or was he high when he played at the level?
Probably a little bit both, actually. Yeah.
You got to get through those. It was warm. I was in Miami.
Things happen. You got to do that, you know. It's the culture.
Yeah.
It's a microcosm of society. but you know, it's... You just totally derailed what I was thinking. I just think it's amusing,
He played
though.
at a high level.
I think have you ever tried to play with hurt feelings?
You can't. You can't play
So
with
have you ever had a coach? Now I played not at quite a high level. The boys' club, I did a good job at the boys' club. It wasn't a high level. But have you ever had a coach yell at you and it just hurt your heart?
Yeah.
And how did you play after you felt like that inside?
Well, you don't play well.
Oh, well, there you go. So you're coming down on this guy for not yelling at people, and as far as I can tell, he's trying to get the most out of his team.
No, it's what you demand. You have to demand. You have to. It doesn't take a lot of athletic ability to step in front of a blitzer. It doesn't take any athletic ability to be tough at the point of attack. That is all stuff that you demand. It's just like our physicality. You get what you demand from the team overall. We don't demand any of that.
Here's what I see. When I watch other teams play, and I watch the Chargers. I'll use the Chargers as an example.
Right.
That defense that they have, when they played against Cincinnati, on the road, in the cold, whatever, it was coaching that won that game. Mm-hmm. Because you could tell when these guys were tackling people, they weren't just getting off of them.
Right.
There was a little something extra on top of it. And about, halfway through the third quarter, Cincinnati was just like, the hell with this.
Right.
This hard.
Right.
This isn't fun, man. I'm done with this. It wears on you.
It's run, chase, and hit. And as many people as you get, everybody, you force guys in training camp, in practice, to get to the way. You don't have to hit in practice, but you have to be able to chase. You have to be able to get, and you have to be able to gang tackle. You have to
finish tackles.
You have to form gang tackling and finish them. And that's the way you become a physical football team.
It's incredible because I hear you talk about Smitty and the way he leads the Atlanta Falcons. It's the exact same way I feel about Mark Richt in the Georgia Bull. I know you're a fan of Mark Richt, but you keep talking about the fact that he needs to get rid of the guys around him. Obviously, defensive coordinator needs to be.
Well, I mean, he's overmatched. He's overmatched. He should not have gotten the job in the first place. He's got no qualifications, and he's proving it.
This is going to bring out a don't from you, but I heard you talking with another host the other day, and he said that Georgia will never win a national championship with Mark Richt at the helm. I totally believe that they will never win. Not only that, I don't believe they'll ever play in a national championship game.
Well, let me say this. Georgia won a national championship in 2012, if not for one man, and it wasn't Mark Richt.
Oh, you're going back to the defensive coordinator side of the ball.
I mean, yeah.
Well, and look
but the onus has to go on Mark Richt for hiring him, for putting up with him. And that's why I said there's something, because Mark Richt's a good man. And I don't mean just good and spiritual, all that stuff. He's a good man. He's a guy. And
you're not playing the God Squad card?
No.
Good, because that drives me nuts.
No. Of course, no. And he doesn't play that either. He really doesn't.
But people who support him play it all the time.
Yeah, well, that's
That's true.
Because he gets away with doing less with the talent he's had over the years.
No,
people
not
say, he's a great God-fearing man. Give me an
no,
asshole who'll kick him in the teeth.
Yeah, I agree. But the only problem with them is their defensive side of the ball. It's the defensive coordinator. That's the problem. They won a championship a year ago.
Well, Mark Richt walks into your living room. You got his son. He's 17 years old. He can go anywhere in the country he wants to go. I mean, he's been recruited by the best. Mm-hmm. I would prefer for my son to go play for Mark Richt because I know what he's getting. I'm not saying these other guys aren't. I've talked to many people that played under him for 3 or 4 years. He'll call their wives on their wife's birthday and wish them. It's just this special family relationship.
He's a fantastic man.
I mean, he's as good as it gets, but in college football, and you see Jimbo Fisher. I mean, how hands-on is Jimbo Fisher? He's the
Well,
CEO.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know about Jimbo. I really don't know. I mean, he's done a great job. I just haven't seen enough of Jim. I can't get a read on it. I can't get a feel on him. And I still have this thing. You see Bobby Bowden, you see them rolling him in on a golf cart. He was like, he was like a spectacle. You don't treat Bobby Bowden like that. You don't trot him out, like the Cheshire Cat, for the big game. He felt embarrassed. He didn't want to be there. He has not been accorded the applause and the respect that he deserves for what he did with that program. He started that program in a place like Bradley's, for crying out loud. They put a team together, and then they go out and they take on the Nebraskas.
You mean we could put together a team?
Well, of course we could.
Well, you know what? I'm looking around the place, and I don't like our chances.
I'm coaching them.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
All right, you're a
No,
space
but
eater.
Bobby
We got
Bowden-
exactly 11
Bobby
people
Bowden
in here.
put that
We
thing
got
on the
space
map.
eaters.
Bo, that way you get to play both ways. That's your favorite.
He put them on the map by going out and playing like the Giants around the country. The same thing Harry Muir did with Georgia in 1928. He took on all comers. That's the way they brought him in to play national champion Yale and Cornell and Princeton and all of those Ivy League schools that were dominant. Fordham, Columbia. Those were the dominant schools at the time. And Harry took them on, and that's the Georgia legacy that's been forgotten. That's what Georgia is supposed to be all about. It left with Wally Butts, and then it was further, driven into a hole by Vince Dooley. Who am I talking to?
That's a great. I've
Who
only
am I
heard,
talking-
I've
you're
only
over
heard
here.
that diatribe.
I'm taking stock. You said we can start a
5,000
team
times.
here. Come on, you said we can start a team. I'm taking a look. I'm taking stock. We're
I
not going
could
to play the run and
It takes
shoot.
5,000 times.
I could
said
repeat that
5,000 times.
verbatim.
I said 5,000 times. We're not physical. The 5,000 the first time it was said was by Arthur Blank. Thank God. So it took 5,000 times.
Thank God. Don't you start the whole wall.
Damn, Gina.
Hey, by the way, looking around, I can tell you we're not going to be able to play the run and shoot. But we do have a chick over there. We got a nose guard.
Are you serious?
I
You
think
gonna put her in the
I think
nose?
she can play the space eater. We'll be good.
Like Wayne Gandy.
Oh, she hurt me. She heard me. I'm a dead man. Let's go. Okay, but to go back to Rick, and you said talking about them winning a championship in 2012. They obviously would have kicked the hell out of Notre Dame.
Yeah, right.
They
Sure,
would have done that.
Yeah,
But here's my Brick problem. Now in that game, they come back. They have a chance to win the game late. You're looking at the sideline making a spike motion. He decides not to spike. I understand the logic of it.
I had no problem with
See,
that.
I do. I still have a
No,
problem
I had
with
no problem with it. You know what? You've got them on their haunches. You've got the
Yeah.
momentum. Why
I agree.
spike it?
I agree.
Why allow them to get organized?
Many-
You've got them. You're dictating. You're driving the game.
Let me ask you a question.
For this.
How many times in your entire life have you seen a fade route tipped at the line of scrimmage?
Well, see, that is a freaky play.
The guy made the unbelievable play.
Yeah,
Mosley made an unbelievable
And by the way,
play.
But this is what we do in our market, guys. This is you guys are echoing what everybody says, and everybody forgets that tool. Todd Grantham lost that game. 350 yards on the ground for Alabama is
I'll
what
say
won
this.
that game, and it was one play, 2 tight ends to one side, right? Same play over and over and over again. The defensive end for Georgia, instead of splitting them and going upfield, making the running back belly out after, he would go across the face of the inside tight end, thereby sealing the edge for them. All they do is run around.
But
the
you know
edge.
what? In
and
fairness,
he never made that adjustment.
But you know what? In fairness,
That was your John Madden moment.
the year before that, when they played LSU, Mark Richt lost that game. Tie ball game. The only thing you can't do go in the locker room is kick the ball to the Honey Badger. That's the only thing you could not do, and they kicked it right to him.
Well, what
That's
could you
on
not
Richt.
do? But what could you not? That's part of the game. What could you
Well,
not
kick
do
it out
last
of
night?
bounds!
You cannot.
Drew Butler was first team All-American.
Cannot kick that ball to
First team
that
All-American.
return agent for FSU last night. Why didn't you poach it? There's a million things you can do, but the fact of the matter is, you're just going by what you feel. That's what head coaching is all about.
Okay, you're going to what you feel. I feel like more often than not, what Mark Richt feels is wrong.
Wait a minute, AJ. When did you start working in Atlanta?
But I see what?
When did you start working in Atlanta?
I started working in Atlanta. You talking about for real or just?
No,
For
how
real
long have
or
you been
what?
around Atlanta?
Oh, 1991.
Oh, is that late? Because you just got the tail end of Dooley, but This was.
I didn't really catch any Dooley. It was a break off. Break off.
So Dooley was like that for years and years and years. Nobody ever said anything. Now all of a sudden we're all excited about national championships, and this guy's got to go. How come when this guy was going 7-4 with 10-1 teams year after year after year after year, nobody ever said anything? Now all of a sudden we're getting excited about Mark Richt when he's being forced to retain a defensive coordinator that can't coach at the major college level?
How about being forced to retain? How about Radakovich leaving Paul Johnson for Georgia Tech? Vad Lee left. He's in the highway. I looked at him. They got 58th best recruiting class in the nation coming in. 58. I mean, it's just every year it just gets worse and worse and worse.
You know what, guys? I would be surprised. And this is going out. I would be mildly surprised if Paul Johnson is there next year. Even it hasn't happened yet. They're trying to find a way to get that money to buy him
What's
out.
going on? Because Vad Lee's saying he's leaving because of the triple option. That's not the story. He says that's the story. That's beginning and end of the story right there.
He doesn't like his relationship with Paul Johnson.
I think what he's saying is right. I think, but the reason is, I think why he was recruited, he said, well, we run the triple option, but here's what we can do with you, and then he never did that. He just stuck to the same old damn Joshua Nesbitt.
Well, that was kind of my point, that this whole thing is he can hang it on the triple option. It's an easy out, but it's not all about that.
Well, it's opposed to throwing your coach under the bus. I mean, the kid's being classy about it, saying, triple option is not really my deal. Well, the fact of the matter is that's not the way he was recruited. He was recruited to add a dimension to the triple option.
Well, looking at their team, they have a ton of talent on defense that are all upperclassmen. Mm-hmm. They're all gone, and they don't have anybody to replace them. No. They lost their quarterback.
Right.
I'm telling you right now, they are going to be terrible next year. And then finally they'll fire him.
Yeah, and then you're so far in the hole. Now you're 5 years away again. The fact of the matter is that that defense. Everybody thinks, well, offensive players don't want to go there because you're not being prepared for the NFL. Defensive players don't want to go there either. They don't like the vibe. They don't like the what's going on. You don't want to be chasing that nonsense all spring long. You want to be rushing the passer.
They hate it.
Defensive players. This is the way you have to play defense when you practice against this club.
Yeah.
They don't want to do that. They want to rush the passer.
And what's crazy is all the secondary. You saw Rod Sweeting get put in the other day, the guy for Georgia Tech who got hurt. He couldn't defend anybody. He's a sure as hell fire tackler though.
Right.
He'll come up and knock the running back down or whoever it is coming, but he can't cover anybody because what are they doing in practice?
Right.
So one thing I want to hit on real quick, and I'm not going to mention the guy's name because that's what he's looking to do. He's trying to get his name mentioned.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's see if we can get.
No, 17. MLB Network has 17 writers. Okay, and MLB.com.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
They get to vote for the Hall of Fame.
Right. I know, yeah.
This freaking guy did not vote. He voted one guy for the Hall of Fame, and he voted Jack Morris.
Black Jack.
No Greg Maddux, no Tom Glavine, no anybody.
Yeah, and I love his reasoning behind that.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to vote in anybody from the steroid era.
Yeah, ever.
Because Greg Maddux, he was dumping steroids in his body. You could see it. You could see it when he waddled out there to the mound. You could see he was he carried all those steroids in his stomach.
It's just a typical writer. I mean, they're so goofy. I mean, they don't relate to it at all. It's horrible.
Hey, if double chili cheeseburgers are performance enhancing, then you can take a look at Greg Maddux.
That's right. That's right. So by the way, that's tomorrow. They're doing that tomorrow at 2 o'clock on MLB Network.
And by the way, you were talking earlier about Dan Radakovich. Listen, there's some guys that just have the ability to skate. You wear a sweater like this. You put the collar up.
Give me the fish. Give me the fish.
Come on, we want a fresh fish.
And you just skate. You just go between the drops. Dan Radakovich on the football selection committee for who's going to be in the playoff next year.
Right.
How can this guy possibly? How could you do that without being somebody's fair-haired boy that is doing you a favor and you've got politics and that's how you got? He's got no way in the world he could have gotten a job on merit. Condoleezza Rice, I want 1,000,000 times over before I would have this guy. Do you want Dan Radakovich? You want Condoleezza Rice? I'll take Condoleezza Rice any day of the week.
I will take the Black Mary Tyler Moore any day.
Can we get Jerry Rice?
Tell me she's not.
I mean, why wouldn't Jerry Rice be good?
It's not the wrong kind to lose a race.
I'm not saying there is. She's got a little Mary Tyler Moore quality. Don't you see that?
No, I don't.
Do you see that when she smiles?
They
She
have
has
the
that
same
great
build.
Yeah,
That's
she has
about
that great
it.
Mary Tyler Moore smile. It just kind of says, brightens your whole day. I could imagine her out there in downtown Atlanta throwing a hat in the air. It would be perfect. That was not an insult, and I resent the fact that you say it.
I'm done.
You've been done.
I'm done. I'm
Oh,
done.
before we go, we promise we do have a special guest from the Double Dime
Oh,
Ranch.
yeah,
we
yeah,
got to
yeah.
bring him out.
Chipper.
He's been hunting. He's been enjoying his retirement, and you might have seen him. If you watch any of the Braves games, if there's ever a rain delay or any kind of technical problems, they quite often go to this feature of Chipper Jones. It's an interview of his living room, and I didn't know, but he apparently wears this attire all the time.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Year
Yeah,
round.
Right, yeah.
So Chipper Jones has joined us from the Double Dime Ranch in Texas.
Hey,
just
Chip,
to come
on
to Chipper.
over. Chip, come on over.
Just wants to say hello to everybody.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You believe this guy
right
with,
there, get right
with a bow and arrow?
Oh, you stay there. Huh? Stay there.
Okay, I'll come in. It's Chipper.
Hey,
Hey, Chip, how are you?
How's retirement going?
Good.
I was going great. Got a little shorter here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is it, duck season, or what are we,
No,
what
hey,
are we
come over
killing
here,
these
will you?
days?
So
Sit
sorry
down
about
over-
your
Squirrel.
So sorry about your
Squirrel?
Hoover stock. I heard
Squirrels.
about that.
Your Hooter
Yeah.
stuff.
You know,
Yeah.
Chip, when you get a look, I love the way you milk it. You know, I mean, it works for you. Why change it?
I don't know. Just stay the same.
Yeah, I mean, steady Eddie. You
Just
know,
made it well, stay the same.
you know what, Chip? I was thinking, like, isn't Atlanta a great town to retire in?
It is.
You
I
know,
can
they never
retire.
forget. The ceremony never ends.
I can retire, shoot a few squirrels here and there.
Yeah.
A lot of people kind of thought you hung on a little bit too long, that you were just milking it for the $15 million. Will you come clean here at Bradley's and just say you did it for the money?
Okay, I confess. I did it for the money.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's all we needed.
Take care,
Chipper
everybody.
Jones,
There
ladies
he
and
is.
gentlemen.
Thank you.
Chipper's got to go man the camera.
I hope Rodney Poe picks up on this.
Stay away from the strippers, you prick.
Rodney Poe.
Rodney Poe.
Rodney Poe.
See you, everybody.
We'll see you guys.
God bless you.
Gurley, get out of there. God almighty,
Leave her
can't leave
alone.
that guy anywhere.